Oh, shit. Fish, you gonna stay hiding? Yep. It's too dark over there. Well, he might come out. No. Damn, nobody coming in yet. At least not to stay. All right. No matter. Mm. Oh, you poking your face out. Yo, what's up, Munchichi? I did a do-it-yourself overflow to try to skim the surface of the water, and I think it's freaking them out a little bit, but it's just the trial phase. I'm hoping it works like I want it to. Try to keep some of the uneaten food from collecting. I might have to put it right in the fucking middle, though. Get some kind of, like a piece of rebar or something to put across this, and cable tie the center brace to it to straighten it out, maybe heat it up. Have to drop the water level some. Hopefully it stays. But nothing else going on other than that. Fucking spilled about a gallon and a half, maybe 2 gallons of water on the floor. Fucking scrambled like an idiot cleaning that up before it found its way to the first floor. Yeah, yeah, like he's about to start fucking shit up when you turn your back. Yeah, I moved the intake, so well the return, so it's causing a little bit different circulation in there, and I don't think he's quite used to it at the moment. I might have to rethink how I got it spaced out, but like I said, this is just the trial period, so if I gotta fucking adjust, I can adjust. Fucking saw on Marketplace some guy about an hour from me was giving away yeah, it's starting to push the stuff that's getting stuck on the ground around. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping it gets caught up in that skimmer I made. I might have to refine the what's in it, the filter media. I just got polyester fucking pillow stuffing basically is what it is, but just to catch the particles. And I might have to, like I said, redo that. I could make that a whole extra little filter. Put a sponge in the bottom, and some biological media in it. And not that I don't have enough in here, but I mean, there's some in the filter that's sucking the water out of the overflow. So hopefully it works out. I might have to reposition the return, but that's an easy thing to do. I got some fucking loose polyester or yeah, nylon, whatever this shit is, floating around in there too. But I got to get another one of these pumps because they come with a water circulator set up where you take it apart and you put instead of the impeller for the water pump, yeah, fiberfill. I got to get more of the batting for quilting because it's kind of like a sheet and it cuts up nice and it's all uniform thickness for the canister filters. It makes it a lot easier. I can cut a whole bunch of them the same size and then just trade them out as I need it. A lot more convenient than the loose shit for like pillows and shit, stuffed animals. But that does work really good for the filter downstairs, this canister filter, and my homemade filter. So yeah, my stepson went to learn how to be a tailor or just make custom clothes, and he had a whole bunch of that shit laying around. So like I had 2 bags of the quilt stuff. He was making like quilted flannels and shit with different fabrics and whatever. But so I didn't have to buy any of that for like 2 years. And then I bought a bag, and now I can't find the roll up sheet of stuff, the batting, the quilt batting. I got to look at Michael's. Hopefully they got it. They should. If nowhere has it, they got it. But there's a couple other craft places and a fabric place I can check too when I need more of that shit, which will be soon. Yeah, he ended up fucking getting a job at a place that makes clothes, like really high end shit for basically name brand companies. But he does shit on the side. Like he even modified his little brother's steering wheel cover and recovered that shit. But yeah, it can be. I mean, he never complains. Oh you little bastard. Yeah, I think the flow change and the big white box is freaking him out, but he's not staying away from the box, so it must be mostly flow change that he's pissy about. What a temperamental prick this fish is. Fucking was checking out baby Oscars last time I ran into the pet store the other day. And the size that I brought him home at, they're selling those ones for $11 now. When before, when I bought him, they were all $15. That would probably work too, yeah. I mean, there's a shit ton of different things you could substitute. Like I got some clay balls for hydroponic growing that I use for well, it's this shit, the leca. Those things. But I got a flower pot, an orchid pot, a shitload of holes in it, full of that inside of the filter for extra biological media and some store-bought actual biological media, but it works good. It was the number one thing that said you could substitute that shit with the ceramic shit you buy at the pet store. And I'm like, cool. I mean, it's basically the same shit, just in a ball. But yeah, guy on fucking Marketplace had a free 150. I was getting ready to, like, psyching myself up. I messaged him. It took him a day to get back. Somebody offered him $150. I'm like, son of a bitch. Should have called as soon as I saw it. I waited a day. I figured it would be gone quick. And it was fairly quick. But dude's like, I'll give you 150. So he didn't let anybody else come get it. It's smart on that dude with the $150 part. I was trying not to spend money, though, other than gas. And then any other ones are like fucking way down in Long Island or in Staten Island in the city. I'd rather not go there. Or Albany, which is a little bit closer than the city north, but I don't want to go there either. Yeah. And I've been keeping up, checking the water parameters every couple days just to make sure the pH is holding. Check the tap water too. Tap water's been pretty constant since I caught the change. So I gotta use about a half a teaspoon of the pH increaser per bucket. So I got that figured out. He hasn't been acting like a dick since I figured it out. Oh man, I don't know. Let me see, where the fuck is that? But the big Raphael catfish is out. He's not under the Yeah, you really can't see him back there. But he's right next to the pot. That fucking guy's about 5 inches long and probably an inch and a half across, not counting the fins. He's getting pretty hefty. I think he's starting to know he's a big bastard. He's been out the last couple days with the lights on. Usually he only comes out when it's dark. But that's a good thing. Me neither, Monchichi. It's fucking unnatural for a building to be taller than trees, and then there's no fucking trees. So yeah, it ain't a place for me, dude. Definitely not. I'd rather be 100 miles in the middle of fucking nowhere than in the middle of any city. I mean, I'm fucking 5 minutes away from, it's not a big city, but I guess it's considered a city. But I don't hang out there. Hi, Pegasus. Much love back to you, sweetie. But yeah, I can't be around a lot of people and a lot of fucking artificial habitat. Like I can barely get through fucking going shopping with the wife. Had to go to the supermarket today, and one of the stores we shop at has the worst drainage of any fucking parking lot I've ever seen in my life. They fully lose a third of their parking if we get serious rain, and it wasn't that bad today, but I was kind of hoping it would really start to downpour because it happens pretty quick too. But a bunch of people parked where it usually would be flooding, and it was raining today. Yeah, me too, man. It's too much stupidity in one fucking place, Monchichi. Like, I know there's stupid people everywhere, but when you live out in the middle of nowhere, there's fewer people. There's fewer stupid people to fucking deal with. The ratio is much more favorable. But just on the road, just driving, I see some shit and it's like, dude, this is not a fucking go-kart track, bro. Dude's driving a fucking big fucking 350 Ford van, fucking like it's a Civic. Like, oh man, I hope I'm there when you roll that bitch. But yeah, just that. And then inconsiderate people are inconsiderate. Like they shop in packs sometimes out here. It's like, why do you need 3 friends to go with you shopping? Only one of you motherfuckers is pushing a cart. But you got a little horde of people. I fucking hate it. Yeah. I've so far, luckily, not been called up for jury duty. Alley Cat has been called up twice. The second one was not long after we got together, and I think she went 3 times, and the fucking defendant decided to plead no contest. I forget what it was for now. Fuck, my uncle was telling me when I was about 15 how they called him in for jury duty and they're interviewing him. And he said by the time they asked me 3 questions, they told me, yeah, we can't use you. Get out of here. Yeah, it's in the 40s here today, Pegasus. Like 47, I think it was. 45. And rainy and damp. Even the cat, he walks outside to the edge of the step of the front porch, sits down, looks around. 10 minutes later, you look out there and turn the doorknob. He runs right for the door. Yeah, it's one of those days. It's not really rainy and shitty. It's just shitty. And you get people that drive like you get in fucking snow and sleet, and it's barely enough rain to turn the wipers on. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Trapped. Whether you're driving through the city or walking, yeah. Options of where to go, shit goes down is limited. Yeah, I remember being in fucking Brooklyn, I think it was, about 11 o'clock, midnight, something like that. My mother took a wrong turn driving home from North Carolina. And, yeah, we're stuck in the middle of fucking Brooklyn, like literally. And I'm like, how the fuck did you even get here? And I had to ask a local for directions because the lady at the Hess kiosk gas station was like, yeah, we don't have no maps and we don't give directions. And she pointed across the parking lot, and there was the single biggest human being I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. The guy looked like the side of a fucking bread truck. So I walk up and I'm like, hey man, you think you can help me get to, forget what highway I asked for? And he's like, oh, yeah, man, you got a couple bucks? I'm like, bro, I got $15. I'll give it to you. Yes. Okay. So I gave him $15, and by the time, well, he gave me some directions. It was literally 4 turns or 5 turns from where I was, and we were back on track. But yeah, that fucking sucked. Fucking try between the point where we realized, son of a fucking bitch, we're going into the city, and we asked that guy for directions. We didn't really, well, we did stop a few times, but we went through a couple fucking tunnels. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? I think we went through one tunnel anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I know we're not in the right fucking place now. But yeah, I got to see a guy. We pulled out with the tunnel. I don't remember. I think it was the Lincoln Tunnel. This dude is running up the street with fucking bunches of flowers, hugging a big whole bunch of flowers, as many as he could get his arms around. And 2 blocks down, there's a street cop listening to a little Korean dude yell about some motherfucker just came and grabbed out a bunch of flowers and ran that way, pointing behind him. Oh, it's definitely worth it to get the fuck out of there, man. But it was literally like 2 hours of just inching. And then we found the fucking gas station. And yeah, luckily, it was about another, like I said, 20 minutes and we were maybe a half an hour, and we were on the highway again. I was like, God damn, dude. Like, never the fuck again. Never again. Not with my mother. When I drove down and came back, we didn't have that problem. I stayed on the fucking highway. But that wasn't even the end of our escapades, because she decides to get gas in Westchester County, not far north of the city. And then she decides she sees a road that she knows, and takes it. But it's the old it's the old main highway through there, and now it's a back road, not a whole much better than like a fucking donkey trail. And yeah, so we ended up seeing all kinds of wooded parts of Westchester and Putnam County. Oh man, I think we might have even gone into Connecticut at one point. But yeah, it was an eventful trip. It took fucking probably 2.5, 3 hours longer than it was supposed to. But yeah, we try to avoid the fucking city too. Definitely, man, driving. Hi, Brooklyn. How are you, sweetie? But yeah, cities are not for me. Like even a really big town. Like I lived in Saratoga Springs, and that wasn't bad if track wasn't going. But if the horse track was going, man, yeah, it sucked. Yeah, I'm good. I made an overflow skimmer box for the intake on the canister filter. I put it in there today. I'm hoping it skims off the uneaten pellets and mealworms, or at least most of them. Save me a little bit of cleaning. At least the gravel, the sand. And I moved the return and changed the flow a little bit, so he's pouting on the dark side over there. I might have to move it and see how he does. Oh, he hasn't been doing that since I caught that pH imbalance in the tap water. So I just test it to make sure it's good, and if it's not, I adjust it, and it makes the water changes a little bit slower. But it he hasn't been thrashing around and bumping into stuff. So I still do cover it at night, though. I still do put a towel over it at night to keep the majority of the light from the TV off. But yeah, here he comes. Maybe he'll want a couple pellets. But yeah, his head's all healed up. No more marks. Yo, R&D, what's up, buddy? Ah, there he goes. But yeah, clean the canister filter before I put the overflow on there. And thought I could get away with not cleaning the impeller. And that ended up making me try to take it off quick and not realizing the fucking hoses are still in the tank. Well, I realized they were in the tank because as soon as I opened the fucking canister filter, water started pouring out of that motherfucker because of the siphon. So I had to take everything back out of the tank, clean up the nearly 2 gallons of water that got on the fucking floor. And then I had to clean everything. Here, do you want a couple of worms? Put them in the feeding ring. They shouldn't go too far. Ah, you don't like the swirly, huh? All right, well, I'll move my hand. Yeah. Yeah, the water is always nice and clean, BB. I vacuumed this bitch on Saturday, and I've got to vacuum it again. Probably do that later, depending what Alley Cat wants to watch. If it's something I'm not into, I'll just siphon some crap off the bottom. Yeah, he's really picky for an Oscar. They're not supposed to be so picky. I mean, they are temperamental. They're known for, changes, making them moody. But as far as eating, he is the most finicky Oscar that I've heard of. I gotta try clams and oysters, see if he'll eat those, but I don't know. He stopped even taking the shrimp. He used to love that. I still am going to try making my own frozen food. That's pretty inexpensive and easy. Yeah, you got to respect it. He don't give a fuck if we do or not. He's gonna anyway, so you might as well respect it. Yeah, me too. It'd be cool. I'd have to keep it to myself probably if he could talk to me, because Alley Cat would probably have me fucking committed immediately. Oh, baby. You'll never guess what the fish told me today. Shit, a lot of times the way the cat and the dog look at me, I'd like to know what the fuck they're thinking. I mean, the cat, you kind of know it's just straight up indifference unless it's food. But Rubble, sometimes he'll just look at you like with like unmistakable what the fuck's the word I'm looking for? Like suspicion. He looks at you like he can tell what you're thinking. Yeah. Yeah, Cat has intent. Rubble, I don't know. Like it's jealousy sometimes. He don't like it if I'm talking to somebody. Like he'll start barking to get my attention because I'm not talking to him or petting him. But yeah, there's no like I spoil the shit out of the dogs. If he don't like something, like I don't force him to like get used to it unless it's something that he has to. But like riding in the car, he gets sick. I didn't force that. You know, I don't treat him bad, but he's always kind of like looking out for something wrong or something to go wrong. Like he's insecure, and I'm not 100% fully aware of how he lived before I got him, but yeah, but like he gets jealous of me, and like if I'm giving someone else attention, talking to them or fooling around with Allison, but he won't come upstairs during the day if I'm home alone. He only comes up when Allison is home, and then he has to be invited. Like he'll sit there and wait until we're like, okay, come on, Rubs, we're going to bed. And then he'll come upstairs. And I have no fucking idea why he does that, but he has always done it. Like he needs an invitation. Yeah, he's weird. Well, my mother-in-law and brother-in-law live here too, and they have the second bedroom. And they're here all the time. He's epileptic. She's retired. And she spoils the dogs worse than we do. So he don't mind hanging out down there with her dog, Cole. He's a pug beagle mix. And them guys, because he gets treats, he gets to push Cole around, make him go sleep on the smaller of the two beds that are down there. It's sad how that poor fucking dog lets our dog just be like, hey, he'll just sit there and stare at him until he gets uncomfortable and moves. And he's got to be at least 2 or 3 years older than Rubble, but he's non-confrontational for sure. Good old Cole. Rubble is just a little dick. Oh yeah, I had a really short-coated dog. He was really big though, like Great Dane size, and his tail was like a fucking stick. It was like getting hit with a broom. Like someone whacking you in the fucking leg with a broomstick. Smack, smack, smack. He'd hit the wall. It sounded like someone was beating on the other side of it with a fucking hammer. It was so bony, he'd actually broken a glass. There was this, it was kind of thin, but it's like drinking glass, and it had like an inch of water in it, and he runs up wagging his tail, and it hits the side of the glass, and it goes kink, and literally snaps almost clean right across in the middle. And then when it hit the top, hit the table, it broke again. But I was like, how the fuck? But yeah, he knocked shit off of the coffee table all the time. Hitting you in the leg was the worst though. Or if he jumped up on the fucking couch and turned around and smacked you in the face with it, it was unfucking bearable. And he was a big fucking dopey, lovable dog. So he was jumping around like a retard all the time. Oh, Ringo, I do miss him though. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they give you that look. You gonna give me some? Like I don't even fucking have anything, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember having multiple dogs. Three of them, you walk out and you palms up. There's nothing there, dude. Nothing there. Oh yeah, those are bad. Uh, my dog Bud, he was about 130 pounds. He loved the laser pointer. Like he would go crazy like a cat over that fucking thing. And, and if you put it in the couch, oh no shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I would have to have a much bigger place. But he would drive his head like right between the cushions of the couch. Well, my cousin came over one day and he's sitting in the chair with his, legs spread, and I got the dog running around on the floor with this fucking laser pointer, and then I point it right at his crotch. He comes driving in there head first, man. Cousin jumped up. He didn't want to fucking scare the dog because he was afraid of him. He was a big bastard, but he wouldn't have bit him. But he just doubled over and was grunting for a little while. But yeah, that dog didn't give a fuck. I worked with this dude whose mom bred mastiffs. I think her average of the dogs she kept was something like 8, 2 males and 4 females, but she had up to like 12 or 14 dogs as breeding at some point. And this is a 5-foot tall lady with these fucking English mastiffs, these humongous fucking dogs. And fucking she would let them jump up on. I'm like, how do you even hold them up? That thing is easily 200 pounds. Like she had a 10-month-old male that was 170 fucking pounds. And they were taller than me on their back legs. Like I had to reach my arms up as high as I could if they jumped up and put their paws on my shoulder. And I felt all that fucking weight, but I had to reach up. They got to be 7 feet tall on their hind legs. And she's got one on the front and one on the back, and she's petting them all over. But yeah, she was an interesting lady, that guy's mom. Fucking huge dogs. Never had to worry about intruders at that house. Like 150, 160 pound females. I think one was even bigger than that. But yeah, she had some really pretty fucking dogs. Well, anyone with sense is terrified of the cat. That lets you know you probably should be. I've seen people have a cat that literally is just that one person cat. It don't matter who anybody else is. They just don't want to be touched. Yeah, you just have an understanding with them, But my grandmother tried to take this fucking this Persian cat from a friend of hers, and that was one of those kind of cats, and they're a pretty good sized cat. This is like a 15 or 20-pound cat, and he was no one's friend. You could feed him and give him water and change the shit box. That was it. He would sit in the window like he was waiting for that lady to come home to get him, But yeah, he was not fucking friendly. And he would light you up. He would definitely draw blood every time if you fucked around. Lightning fast, vicious little bastard. Oh yeah, yeah. That can happen with bunches of animals. I mean, I've seen a dog do it too, but she snapped out of that. Uh, but the fucking my cousin Sean's grandpa ran a dairy. Well, he owned a dairy farm, and he had a cow. The first one she had was stillborn. Uh, Something happened to the second one like 3 or 4 days after it was born, but after that, like she wouldn't let you milk her. She would stay out in the fucking pasture. Like, yeah, she just turned ornery. You get her inside, and she's liable to just start fucking you up. But the dog, she was an outside dog. Had them outside, and it was my neighbor's dog. And we got a rainstorm, and the puppies got outside of the fucking doghouse and into one of the holes that she wore on the side or right in front of the doghouse, and it was a puddle. And all but one puppy drowned right there. And it was middle of the night, so they didn't hear her out there barking and shit. But yeah, she turned into a bitch for a month or two. Yep. BB, my old boss had a fucking dachshund that his wife named Bobby after him. Nothing like my boss, but he would come running up when you come in the house and start barking at you like he was gonna fuck you up. But as soon as you knelt down and like offered your hand for him to sniff, would run away, pissing a trail fucking right behind him, all the way back to Bob's wife. Funny little bastard. Yeah, it was weird. He's all false bravado, and then when you try to like give him the chance to at least get to know who you are, he just turns around, runs away, pissing the whole fucking way. He was a weird little fucker. Poor bastard got some kind of cancer and ended up fucking taking him quick. Uh, the only time he hung out with Bob is when Bob finally sat down after dinner to watch some TV before bed. But other than that, he was the wife's dog. But Bob took it hard, and then a friend of his had to go into a nursing home, and he had a puppy named Frankie, and Frankie was 100 fucking percent different than Bob was. Bobby, uh, Frankie liked to come in the car. Frankie liked to play. Like he was a cool, outgoing dog, and yeah, so he ended up having a work dog too, but he was a miniature dachshund, so he wasn't as big as the normal ones. But he was cool as shit. I liked him. Oh yeah, they do seem to magically grow when they're all in a fucking rage. Yeah, the nastiest cat I ever knew was a tiny little bitch too. In fact, that's what I named her, Little Bitch. She was fucking calico, and she acted more like a dog, but like an asocial dog. She would run to the door when someone knocked. Uh, she didn't want to be petted. If she did, it would be like for 5 minutes every other day, every 3 days, and then if she moved from where you were petting her, like say like she was on one leg and you're petting her, when she was done, she would move to the other. If you kept petting her, she would turn around and put uh, both front paws, stick every fucking claw into the back of your hand, and then bite you. Like she did, if she moved, you stopped touching her. So if kids came over, I was like, yo, don't fucking even touch that one. There's a big dopey Maine Coon over there. He'll love you. Don't touch the don't touch the little one. But she was cool. I mean, I don't like cats that come up and want to stick their ass in your face every time you sit down. And she was cool like that. She'd play with the toys, like the little fishing line with the feathers on the end of it, and all that shit. But yeah. Oh no. She was trying to hit bone when she bit you. Like there was no the moving away was the only warning. After that, it was full throttle. She was fucking mean. That only got worse when she did end up having kittens. She was way more asocial. She was like fucking like I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be around you. Plug that. Holy fuck, I bet I unplugged that. I did. Son of a bitch. I accidentally unplugged the wrong filter earlier and didn't plug it back in. Or did I? No, I didn't. Okay, that might just need to be cleaned. Oh no, I did unplug it. Fucking jackass. There's my cup. Oh, I did put all that water in there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking fuck with that. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Oh no, there it goes. Cool. Cool. Oh. All right. That's Serenity. Yeah, man. We had a little, I don't know, maybe like a little 40-pound dog. Friendliest, nicest dog you ever met. After that fucking cat had kittens, she would light into that dog for no reason whatsoever. Um, the other cat, Buford was his name, the Maine Coon. She would curl up next to him, the dog, and he would be cool with her. And the other one, she knew, the dog knew just to stay the fuck away from her. But literally, I've seen her jump off the couch from about 6 feet away. The dog was just walking toward the bedroom. She jumped on the back like she was at the fucking rodeo and just dug claws in. My dog took off into the bedroom, skidded underneath the bed. The cat hit the fucking frame of the bed. It took me a half an hour to get the dog from underneath the fucking bed. And when I did, there was like 3 cat claw tips stuck in her. And it broke off when she hit the fucking bed. But I checked her all over, and she had a couple of little pinholes, and then a couple little claws stuck to her. But the dog was fucking traumatized. She never went. She never got anywhere near those kittens. Like she would not get within sight if she could help it, and that cat just didn't want to take the chance. I felt so bad for the dog. She was a fast little dog, but that little cat was so much faster and brutal. Just fucking evil. She was a junkyard cat, though. She came from my buddy Terry's junkyard. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, poor Penny, man. She was a good dog, too. She never fucked with the cats, you know. She never chased squirrels or none of that shit. Best dog on a leash I ever had. Never had tension on the leash. That cat was just fucking a menace to society. Can I get that to stop moving now? Okay. Our cat doesn't fuck with the dogs until they're not looking, and he doesn't ever do it with the claws out. But he'll wait till because Cole is always sketched out, and well, I think we call the cat Larry now. My brother-in-law started calling him Larry. It was Sphinx. The boys named him Sphinx. Allie's boys named him Sphinx when he followed me in the house. But anyway, he'll sit on like the couch, and Cole will walk by slow and keep an eye on him, and the cat will have his eyes slitted so he could just see, and then Cole will turn his head and then start to walk away, and he'll reach out and smack him on the ass just to watch him run. Or he'll pretend to sleep, and one of them will sniff him, and he'll just smack real quick. But yeah, he likes to fuck with them like that. But other than that, they get along pretty good. He's a pretty laid back cat, but he's got just enough attitude to give it back to him when they try to bully him. Usually it's for his food. But like I said, he's a pretty big cat. He's almost as big as Rubble. How the fuck did that get in there? You bastard. Oh, I got you anyway. Right. Yeah, the only thing that sucks is if we're up here and the cat comes up and Rubble's on the bed, he will not let the cat get on the bed. And since Bella has been too old to be on the bed because she can't see the edge and she'll walk right off, and it's 2.5 feet from the top of the mattress to the floor. So we got her a nice comfy bed, and she sleeps at the foot of the bed. But now it's his bed alone, and he don't like any other. Like if Bella walks over next to it, he'll start growling. I'm like, dude, you need to fucking check yourself. You know, she's the matriarch around here, the old guard. Son of a bitch. That's okay, though. I tried to make a minor adjustment to this. Now it's more of a major adjustment. Son of a bitch. Come on. Not quite that far. Maybe. All right, move that. Let's see how that helps, if that helps. I might have to move it to the other side. We'll see. Is it starting to work? No sign of it starting to work yet. But ooh, I really need to vacuum this. Jesus Christ. I'm really hoping this skimmer thing works. I might have to put it right in the center, though. Which that'll kind of suck for looking in the tank, but unless I can get it over on the side, which I'd have to move them. I don't think I got the fucking no. Oh, I could. 2 inches. All right. The change of flow didn't get them to come out yet. Ugh. I hate that so much uneaten food is getting to the fucking bottom. Try to make sure he eats everything. He must be spitting stuff out. Or they're still getting stuck up underneath that fucking brace. Come on out, Pigpen. Yeah, he's not happy. Yeah, he ain't happy at all. You're not going to come over into the light at all? Yeah, it sucks too. You can't see too good toward the back because, where's that flashlight I just had? I think it fell. Hold on, I'll see if I can't get the. Oh, there it is. It didn't fall. But right back there, next to the pot, you can maybe see the little bit of the front of them, but they're the biggest catfish is right there, right next to that pot. I don't know how good you can see him, but the top of his nose and his front left fin or right fin, actually, you're looking at it looks like it's the left, but he's been out and about with the light on, the biggest catfish. So that's a plus. I mean, he's still hiding behind the plant pot, but he's out with the light on. Unless one of the other ones got in his spot while he was out and won't let him back in. But I think since I fixed the pH, I can put the brighter light back on him too. because I don't think it was that was making them spaz. It was that drop in the pH level. Come on out, dude. Yeah, it's still too dark back there. Just being a jerk. Well, you're lucky I still give you the dark side. I don't put lights on both sides. So I can put this one on one side and the bright one on this side. Yeah, he didn't want food either. Now I gotta scoop it out before it gets waterlogged and sinks. Yeah, he's very well. I'm kind of heavy-handed. I should probably watch him a little closer. That's why I think the making a frozen food a little cube. You know how much he's getting. Throw one or two in there, and then when you come around again, if he's hungry again, you could throw another one. But something that will break down and hopefully not get stuck. I think I gotta replace the sand with finer sand. Less stuff will get caught up because there's a bunch of gravel in this, and the food gets stuck all over the place. Not so much on the right hand side because it's not. I don't feed on that side, but and the water flow comes in that way, and then it goes out on the left where I do feed. But yeah, so much, man. Just I got to figure something better out. I can basically make a food out of all of his favorite shit. Make it all into a paste. I think you add a little bit of plant-based gelatin or even regular old gelatin, and I have to get little latex fucking ice cube trays, but I think that would be more economical too. And I wouldn't have to suck up all this shit every other day. I mean, the poop, I probably still will, but the food is what bothers me. I'm wondering if I shouldn't stick one of those pumps inside the skimmer on the bottom. I could take that shaft off of it and it would work like a normal skimmer. Just stick a little piece of sponge over the end and away we go. I might try that. I think I'm going to try that. That should fit in the bottom of that. Yeah, I think that's what I might do with that. I think it'll be more powerful suction with that one pump than this one canister filter does. And then maybe slide the other one down and tip it sideways. Keep it closer to the bottom. I'd like to get another one. I could make a vacuum out of that really easily with just the gravel vac I have and another pump. They used to sell cheap ones, which would have been perfect at Walmart, but they haven't had them in almost a year now. Exactly the same kind of pump, just a smaller one. That would have been ideal. I could put that little 80 or 90 gallon an hour one I got inside of that. I don't know how well it would work. Just thinking out loud. No, I don't have to take them out. I would just have to take those suction cups off. Well, that's like a bracket. That pump will slide right off of that. And then I could slide that down tube off. I think I have a shorter one, or I could take it and just put that end on it. There's a screen on that. I could take the screen off and just put the screen onto that. And I have a couple of old sponge intake sponges like this thing, where you slide it over the intake tube, which I had them on there, but he keeps knocking them off. So I could cut that down so it fits and then just stick it inside of that, which is just a plastic container that I got held on with a fucking spring clamp. But no, I don't have to take him out. The sand, I would, just so he's not in the dirty ass water. But I would probably take all the rocks out, the big rocks, and then vacuum it all really good as I drain it, and to make sure I get all the food and the crap and whatever else might be in there that doesn't need to be. Then I could probably put maybe an inch and a half layer of sand over that, but I would have to probably leave it like it is with that bare spot and then just put sand everywhere else, but he would uncover that again anyway. But I would put him in that big 70-gallon tub I have while I did it either way. And it would be easy to just flip the filtration right over into that tub. So that wouldn't be a problem at all. In fact, if I can't find a fish tank the size I'd like to have for them, I could always get a livestock tub and make them a pond fish. Or I could modify the livestock tub and put a window in it too. But I'm still looking. I did miss out on that free 150 because somebody agreed to give the guy $150 if he held it till whenever. But oh, that sucked. But still looking. Since Monchichi brought up if I could have some kind of like a bridge between one tank and another, I've been thinking about just getting another 75 and making a bridge between the two, a water bridge, so they could swim up through the tunnel basically between the two. I would just have to make sure I do it right so the water flows through it and I don't get any dead water spots where there's nothing, no current, no movement. But I'd have to buy a bunch of either glass to make it or plexiglass and acrylic adhesive, the bonding agent. No, he's out. Here he is. But he's all colored down. He's kind of paled out. Yeah, I'm going to vacuum you later. The flow change is messing with you, huh? I'm going to figure it out, dude. I've been thinking about taking this canister filter off the 75 and putting it onto the 40 again and taking the 40-gallon hang on the back and putting it on here just for a little bit extra. But then I thought about something different for this one and switching all the filtration around to make it easier on me. But I thought about it, and the switch is harder than keeping it like it is right now. So we'll just keep it like it is right now. I wouldn't mind getting one bigger pump to replace these two. And then I could do the overflow and or whatever. I'd have two of those to make shit work. I actually think they don't need, I'm pretty sure I'm going to read up on it. I don't think they need to be submerged in water as long as you can make an intake. So you can make that like an inline pump. So I could probably put that right inside of the filter. The filter box there, or on top of it, and make it work with them outside. It would be more room for him, less space taken up by the pumps being in there. Let's try that, I think. I could even, if I can, I could basically do what I did on that to the bottom of this, and that would fucking be perfect. Yeah, I might do that if I can do that. And I think I can. It wouldn't be hard. I don't know if that would affect the flow rate, but like I said, I'm going to read up on it more. If I could maximize some space a little bit and make that skimmer overflow thing work better, that would be awesome. And maybe streamline the filter too. God damn it. I'm going to have to try that. You're going to definitely have to try that. Wish I would have thought about this when I wasn't doing anything else. But that's all right. I could even drain this down about, I could do less than half even, down to the 25% mark, and I could silicone that plastic container to the glass on the backside over there in the corner, that thing, so I don't have to have a clamp. And then I could run pump either inside of it, or I could put the pump inside of that and run a hose. If it'll work like that, I'm going to try it. I'm pretty sure it will work like that. I'd like to get a big, more powerful one of those, actually, if I could get another pump. I don't know if they sell that exact type at Petco, but I do know they have bigger return pumps. So I could make an overflow with that return pump too. It would just have to be a little bigger. Feeling better now? You got whatever that was out of your system? Let's try one at a time. No? We want pellets? Where the hell did I put the pellets? Oh, you want pellets. Well, we're going to do like 2 or 3 at a time. No, you fucking prick. Gets excited, comes over, and now he's not eating anything. You're a dick, Pigpen. What a dick. Well, I'm not leaving them in there, dude. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. As long as I can get the same water flow with that pump outside of the water with a pipe being an inlet. Uh, yeah, I'm going to streamline that whole fucking overhead sump. I'll be able to put the heater in it so I won't have to worry about turning the heater off when I do water changes. Which the only problem with that is me remembering to plug it back in. It's been a couple of times. But yeah, I think I could do that. As long as I can run that thing outside of. I hope I saved the instructions. I did. All right. Let's see. I would have to have an overflow. I can do it externally. Awesome. 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 I can put it somewhere dry. That, oh, fuck. That one right there. The pump is at the bottom. There's an inlet and an outlet. So, yeah, I think tomorrow, or maybe later on, I'm going to be modifying the shit out of that. Yep. That's awesome. I'm glad I can do that. I should keep the pump cleaner because it's going to have like insane pre-filtration. I think I'll do that. And I'll just put the regular intake back on that sponge filter. No, no snow yet here, BB. I've seen a bunch of places are getting it, not us though. Yeah, god damn it. All right. That's the quick one. Let me look at the in-depth. I know some of our Canadian friends have gotten snow. Rocky Horder Picture Shows has gotten snow already too. He's in I think he's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I know he's in Michigan. I think he's a Yooper though. But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to Yeah, if that doesn't affect how fast it fucking pumps the water, um, I can definitely do that. And that very well. Yeah, I don't mind snow though. I kind of miss the way winters used to be. I mean, it gets cold and snowy. I'm fucking stiff and grumpy, but I still would rather have the snow. My kid, he used to love the snow, and then he got to be about 8 or 9, and he was not so enthusiastic. And then by the time he was 11, he was like, "Yeah, I fucking hate the snow." But yeah, I never minded. I mean, I can't say never. I've had to pack up quick because it started to snow, cover up concrete we just got finished pouring and brooming off, and get everything covered up, get all the tools covered in the truck, and um, get ready to leave, and it stops. Sun comes back out. Fucking could have left 2 hours early. And then by the time we got the tools all back out and everything uncovered and did whatever little bit of shit we needed to do, we barely, it was barely worth it. But yeah, I still miss it. Yeah, I should. I think I'm going to slide the whole, that whole trough right there. I could move it another foot this way toward the wall. So it's coming in straight at that corner. Like I said, I want to move that heater that's in, excuse me, that's in that corner. But I can run these pumps externally, and I have some, I think it's 1/2 inch PVC. I can make a little intake with it and run the pump outside of that, even right inside of the filter box, the media box for the sump. I could just run it in there and let it shoot the water in there, put it right on the top. Uh, but I think that would keep the filter cleaner, and I can make an intake for one, and then put the other one on that skimmer box that I made. I think the 295 gallons an hour that one of those pumps make is better than, I think this is maybe 200 an hour, the canister filter. But I think that would definitely create more suction into the skimmer. And then if I put an intake pipe for the second pump, I could, like you said, spread them out, keep one on the top, one on the bottom, and the other intakes, the intake or the return for the canister filter I can use just for water flow, and the intake just to pump the water flow, but also filter some water too, because I do have media in that. So it's got the polyfill and biological media and sponges, which I could probably run this tank on that for a couple days if I had to, which I'm gonna have to at least for a day probably, to fuck around moving the sump down and making the intake and hooking the other one up to the skimmer. Yeah, they take up quite a bit of room. I mean, they're probably with the where the fucking hose angles back with that little elbow is probably at least 5 inches. So I could take that right out. Um, this is maybe 4.5 by 4.5 inch plastic fucking container. No, yeah, you gotta check. You never know. But I could free up a little bit of space, make it look a little neater in there. Oh, well, buddy, we're gonna have to get you some pellets tomorrow. Yeah, I just put a bunch of fucking dust in there. That was the last of those pellets. I gotta get them the bigger size anyway. Yeah, go ahead. That's just fucking powdered pellets, buddy. But yeah, I think that's the way to go. Fucking prima donna fish. Yeah, that would definitely make it better. Oh, you're fucking with the plants, dude? They did take out two of the Anubias, and one leaf I thought was gonna. I had enough rhizome, but it didn't. So I took that out and threw it away. But there's two small Anubias floating around in there somewhere. I got to relocate them and put them back on the bottom. Um, yeah, I didn't get to go looking for rocks with my kid. I didn't get out to pick them up until late. But there was some fucking bullshit with that. He was supposed to be dropped off, but now apparently his mother doesn't have a car. And bragging a couple months ago about how they had two or three. I don't know, something to worry him. I don't know, man. Ugh. At least he's smart enough to know whatever it was, he'd rather be inside than go fuck with it. My last big dog always wanted to investigate. He's it's dark. Oh yeah, skunk. This is a skunk story. It was dark, and I lived in the center of a little town. It doesn't even have any traffic lights in this town. It's a little three-way intersection, and you're through it. But I lived right on the end of a back road that led out into town. Yeah, that too. Freaked him the fuck out. But there was a street light outside my house, and like every 100 yards down the back road, for about 400 yards, there was a street light. But after that, there was no street light, and one of them was out, and it was the third one from my house, and we usually walked up to the last street light. So we're in between the second and the third, and with what little light is coming from the fourth, right about where the fucking third telephone pole is, a skunk walks out. My dog is sniffing something on the side of the road. He doesn't see it. It sees me. I go, shit. And he runs back into the fucking bushes. My dog hears him going through the bushes, and now all of a sudden I got 130 pounds dragging me toward where the skunk is. I'm like, man, I hope that fucking skunk made it to the hedgerow. You know, like son of a bitch. Because he wanted to go see what the fuck it was. And he's one of them motherfuckers that have been sprayed multiple times. After that, that was his first interaction with coming across the skunk. The second one, he was outside by himself. I lived deep in the woods, so I just let them out. When they want to come in, they come in. And yeah, he got it full in the fucking face. That is horrible. I was at pool league. I get a call. I got to come home. I'm like, well, I can't come home right now. I didn't drive here. But yeah, she had him in the tub with every remedy she could think of or look up. But yeah, luckily, I think just once, Rubble got sprayed by a skunk. But Bella hasn't since I've known her anyway. But my old dog, he got it a couple times. I think he liked to smell bad, that motherfucker. Well, I gotta head out and get Alley Cat, you guys. Thanks for stopping by and shooting the shit with me. I'm sure Pigpen would appreciate it if he wasn't an asshole. But he's back there. But see you all next time, guys. Have a good night.